92.9 KISM FM Bellingham. I'm Scott Less. Welcome to the afternoon. I know you're thinking to yourself, what should I do for Valentine's Day? Well, there's a big rock show taking place in Mount Vernon at the Lincoln Theater, and more than happy to welcome in the studio today, Heart by Heart featuring Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Steve Fossen. Good day, Steve. How are you?
Hi. How's it going?
Good, man. Nice to meet you again. I met you a couple of years ago when you guys were on the big stage at the Skagit Casino Resort. And I had a chance to go out there and introduce you guys before you rocked that house. So it's nice to see you again today, sir.
Thank you. It's good to see you again, Scott.
And you're not by yourself. We got Steve Fossen in here, of course, founding member of the band Heart, and the lead singer of Heart by Heart, Summer Masick, is here. Good afternoon. How are you today?
Hi, Scott. Thanks for having me on the show.
Nice to see you again. Thank you for making the trek up here. And lead guitar player, Lizzie Damont. Good day, Lizzie. How are you?
Yes, I'm good. Thank you.
I'm so thankful that you guys had a chance to come in today. And the audience is going to be treated to what I was already treated to because we had a nice sound check, an unplugged performance from the fine folks in studio today. So we're going to get to that in a moment. Tickets for the show at the Mount Vernon for the Lincoln Theater, those are on sale now at KISM.com. And here once again with a Heart by Heart, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer. I am never going to get tired of introducing you that way, Steve. How are you today, my man?
Well, you know, I'm doing great.
Thank you, first of all, for making a day that you guys can make the trek up to Bellingham for this. I know you're prepping for a big tour. You guys, are you flying out this week?
Flying out Friday morning. We're going to Wisconsin. Let's go out, La Crosse, Wisconsin. We're going to get our cheese curd on.
And they're going to get their rock on.
They're going to get their rock on, yeah.
That is nice.
And I did a interview for another radio station from my home this morning.
Okay.
In Wisconsin, for a radio station in Wisconsin.
Well, when you guys prepare a tour, what is that process like to get everything ready to go to then hit the road? What does that look like?
It's super easy.
Anybody can do it.
Anybody can do it. No, actually, it's a lot of work, and we have a manager, we have a booking agent, we have Summer. She does a lot. It's a process. You got to rent a car. You got to get plane tickets. You got to make sure everybody knows what time to be at the airport, and it's a process.
All that even before you even get to the stage, just a full day of activities before you can even do that.
And we always go a day early because more than once we've been on a flight that goes, oh, we're a little delayed today, and
we'll get you in tomorrow.
Yeah, so if we were a day of show, if we flew and we were delayed, we'd miss the sound check.
Yeah.
We'd miss dinner. We just have to run off the plane, get on stage, and play. It's like we don't like to do that.
Well, tell me if you can just a little bit about the process of getting these members together to be able to do really a true tribute to Heart, created by the founding members of the band, going out there and singing and performing the songs that have left a legacy. Tell me a little bit about the process of building a band together that can equal your expectation. Was the guy who's in the studio and those songs were recorded the first time?
Okay, well, so back in the day, like it was 2008, Roger Fisher, Mike DeRozier, and I were asked to play at a private party, and they wanted us to play a few Heart songs, and we had, as together, we had not played the Heart songs for many, many years. And of course, we were kind of like, who wants to play Heart songs? But we decided, yeah, let's do it. It could be fun. And so, and the lady that was chosen to be the singer for that little party was Summer Masick.
Wow.
So that was when I first met Summer. And of course, when I first met, when we got the lead sheet for the gig, it said Summer, and they spelled it S-U-M-M-E-R. Her name is actually spelled S-O-M-A-R. So when I saw S-U-M-M-E-R, I thought, okay, here we go. She's going to come in a tie-dye dress. She's going to have
2008, sure.
Yeah, she's going to have the patchouli oil and all that kind of stuff. But she was just totally the opposite. She was, she just looked like a regular person, and and we met, and I was impressed by her as a person, and then when we did the sound check, I was impressed with her singing, and then afterwards we had a nice chat and we took some pictures, and I was impressed with her, and we I think we exchanged phone numbers, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, that was in February, and over the course of the rest of the spring, summer, and fall, we became friends, and then that friendship turned into a romance, and so then we would, when she was getting ready for work, she was in the medical field, she would be putting her makeup on and stuff, and I'd be playing the bass, and we'd be singing. We'd play Dog and Butterfly or Alone or something like that, and people heard about that, and they and we were a duo, of course, and they said, hey, why don't you guys play a couple songs for our dinner party, whatever. So we started doing that, and then people heard about that, and then pretty soon we were playing bistros and jam nights at different clubs around the Seattle area. And people heard about that, and then a guy in Anchorage, Alaska heard about it, and he called me up. He said, hey, you guys want to open up for Dwight Yoakam here in Anchorage? We said, heck yeah. So we said we'd do it, and then we thought about it a little bit, and we thought, being a duo opening up for Dwight would be a little light, so let's see if we can get a drummer and a guitar player. So we asked Mike DeRozier, of course, the original drummer for Heart, and Randy Hansen. I don't know if you know who Randy Hansen is.
Absolutely,
he's
yeah.
a Hendrix artist. He's a really good friend and a really awesome guitar player. So the four of us put together a set of Heart material to open up for Dwight. We were all set to go there, and we got a call and said, hey, Dwight's not coming, so the gig's off.
Oh.
Dwight went on the gig. But we had a band. And a couple months later, a friend of ours called us up and said, hey, we're doing a benefit for Susan G. Komen. Would you guys like to play? We said, sure. So we went and played, and we raised quite a bit of money for the cause. And some other people saw us, and they contacted a booking agent and said, hey, these guys are pretty good. Why don't you get them some gigs? And that was Craig Cook. I don't know if you know who Craig
Cook
is, but anyway. And then pretty soon we're playing in playing gigs around Western Washington. And we made a website, and that website is heard. I mean, people all over the world can see it.
I've heard that
on the
about
East
the
Coast. Yeah, you've heard about that? Heard about that? www.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
So people on the East Coast said, hey, Mike and Steve are playing together again. And so we got calls from the East Coast. And pretty soon we were going out to the East Coast and everything and flying. And then all of a sudden it just kind of picked up, and now we're doing what we do.
Amazing.
And in the meantime, we had met Bob Rivers, who kind of is a keyboard player on the side, and we met Lizzie at a similar time, and we were looking for a girl that could sing the harmonies and everything, and Lizzie was available, so we auditioned Lizzie, and she knew the song so well the first audition that 1 week later she was on stage with us.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then over the course of the next couple of years, Randy and we had a couple other guitar players, and Randy got really busy doing the Hendrix thing, and we were really busy doing the Heart by Heart thing, so we had to find another guitar player, and that guitar player ended up being Chad Quist, who is our guitar player right now.
Nice.
And that's the story in a nutshell.
I love it. I love it, man. I love the story of how to recreate really greatness. And I think that you guys have nailed it. Make sure you check out Heart by Heart. They're going to be live in the Lincoln Theater in Mount Vernon coming up on Valentine's Day, February 14th. Tickets for that show are on sale now at KISM.com. And in studio today with Heart by Heart and founding member of the band Heart, Steve Fossen. One more quick question for you, sir, before I let you guys go. If you could just give me a quick recap. I want to visualize through you what it was like being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Well, it was pretty awesome. So at our table, right over here was Oprah Winfrey.
Wow.
Right next to her was the Q man. And, over there was Tom Petty and all these stars. And we were sitting there going, wow, this is pretty cool. And we got on stage, and they handed you this trophy, and I was looking at it like, wow, it says my name right on it. And it was really great. And then we played. The band actually played "Crazy on You" for the audience there.
Right.
And it was fantastic experience playing it on stage. And another fantastic experience was rehearsal the day before.
Gosh.
And we started that song, and we went from the beginning to the end without stopping once. It played. You could have recorded it. It was that precise and that good, and it was really a thrill. And and then afterwards we had a great time eating sushi, and just hanging out, with all these people. And since then, Summer and I have become really good friends with a lot of the people that run the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So we've been a guest at quite a few of the induction ceremonies since, and we'll probably be going this year. It's in Cleveland this year again.
Yep.
And Cleveland, to me, I mean, LA's fine, New York's great, but Cleveland there's something special about Cleveland because that's where the hall is actually, and they had a really good vibe. So we were there, and we saw. Who did we see in Cleveland?
Foo Fighters? Didn't you see Foo Fighters?
Foo Fighters, that's right.
Go.
Foo Fighters, and Paul McCartney was in the audience.
Yeah.
It was quite a night. And,
wow.
But you know, being inducted. I mean, the thing of it is, we were nominated one year and we didn't make it, and then the next year we were nominated again. And the very first year, I mean, you can ask Summer, I was a nervous wreck for 8 months waiting for the results, and we didn't make it that year. So I was really disappointed. But I took it like a man, not. And so we were nominated again that next year, and I went, I'm not gonna go through that again. So I just let whatever happens happens. So I just let it go. And so I was down in the basement. I was fooling around with one of my basses and an Ampeg amp. It was a Fender bass and an Ampeg amp. And I was fooling around, and the phone rings, and I went, should I answer that? Oh yeah, I'll answer it. So I answered it. It was the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Said, well, you made it. You're an inductee.
Wow.
We will call you in a few weeks with all the particulars, but congratulations. And I went, I couldn't talk.
Wow.
My eyes are all teared up. I'm getting kind of emotional right now just thinking about it.
That's awesome. What a career achievement when you think about it.
Well,
when you take yourself back to when you picked up a bass guitar for the very first time, to then fast forward to that moment.
Okay, well, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame didn't even exist when I first started playing. And, you know, we were happy. Every step of the way, we were happy with where we had gotten. Because last month we were there, this month we're further down the road. We're getting closer all the time, you know. And I've been happy with every step along the way. But to be nominated and inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was, I mean, when you think about it, I mean, look who was nominated before us, and who's been nominated and inducted since, and you're just going like, that's me. I'm amongst those people, and it's like it's a heady experience, but of course I really appreciate it. And as a matter of fact, last year Heart by Heart was asked to play what's it called, anyway.
Then it was like the plaza.
The
area.
plaza, right in front of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they happened to be having a brand new exhibit featuring Heart, and so Mike and I, we both had outfits there, and we had a little piece of gear from each of us, and everybody in the band did, and it was the first time that all the people in the band had something there at the same time. And I think the exhibit's still there, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
that's fantastic.
And it was such a fantastic experience, and of course, Summer had to take a bunch of pictures of me hamming it up in front.
You got to do what you got to do. Well, I appreciate you sharing your experience with us here today, and congratulations again. I mean, that is such a truly awesome honor, not only to be in the Rock Hall, but to be where all the other peers are at the beginning of rock and roll. If people move to the country for the very first time, what is rock? Hey, go check out who's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It gives you a great idea. Well, congratulations and good luck with future success with the band Heart by Heart, Steve.
All right, thank you, Scott.
I appreciate your time today. Heart by Heart in studio. Pleasure seeing you again, Summer. Thank you for your time. Lizzie, you're amazing.
Well, thank
that
you.
guitar work is stunningly awesome. Catch this band live February 14th, Lincoln Theater in Mount Vernon.